about this guy that we're meeting.
Oh, well, maybe we can score some bets while we're here.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right, let's do it.
Is that a lake? Is that a river?
It's the river, right?
The river. Yeah, I don't know. But this guy that we're meeting, supposedly he knows something about Vokorev, and he has some information for us. Nolan wanted us to figure out what's going on. I have
So
no
you
idea.
still are in contact with Nolan?
Is that him? I know he's this like nut job. I have no fucking idea who this guy is.
You haven't seen him
Or a
yet?
dog
No,
just
I don't
for-
know. Okay.
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 Safety numbers.
Yeah. Okay. That's why we need you here. Because
Yeah,
this
let's
is like,
just.
Hello.
You know, it's not always good to talk about someone when they're not there.
Oops.
I never know what to do or what to think whenever I encounter someone talking about me when they don't know I'm there. I mean, on one hand, it is a great way to learn about oneself. But on the other, I usually find it hard to detach myself enough to not resent the people that I'm overhearing. What about you? Did you come to any conclusions about me?
You're definitely interesting. So you know V?
I've heard of things. I've heard there's a small group within Connections that are actually trying to defend Mr. Nolan. I'm okay.
Good.
The thing is, Vokorev, or V, has actually been working on the inside, trying to spread some truth about Connections. Come with me.
Inside.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, it's time for some revelation.
Revelation of what?
I'm actually part of a small group within Connections, known as the Tamarind Martini Society, TMS. Through that group, that's how I met V. You see, whenever Connections got its contract, I wasn't able to set up my own account. For some reason, I wasn't allowed. But through some friends at the TMS, I was able to access their network through the accounts of others.
What's his name?
And after meeting V and hearing her side, hearing the information, the things that she knew, the more I decided
A little edgy.
that I was going to take her side.
We haven't been introduced, by the way. I'm Ryujin. You were consequential. Is that your name, or is there something we can call you?
H.
H. H.
Some of the things that V told me. She told me that whenever people encourage you, or whenever you admit that you need someone, that does is just leave you vulnerable. Makes it easier for you to get hurt. How about you?
Old-fashioned chat.
It's under this bridge. I actually could hear her speaking. I caught it.
What's that?
Speak.
Agoraphobia. Fear of open spaces. I never understood what that meant until I died. I'd been on ships in the middle of the Atlantic and stared stared at the horizon. Nothing but dark blue waves for hundreds of miles. It made me comfortable. But there was so much room between me and home. It's the same old story in many ways. I would like you to hear it.
Sort of voice.
Wait, where'd you get that?
You can't remember if it was Alexander that or this one. But she was nowhere to be found.
Was that
I looked
for
around,
you?
I could have sworn.
That message was for you? Or
I was here, and I caught it.
What do you mean she
Something
wasn't to be found? What does that mean?
There was a voice, but I looked around. She wasn't there.
So you heard a disembodied voice of V
Talk about some ways.
talking about being dead.
talk about agoraphobia?
Fear of open spaces.
It's all for you. Wow.
There's. It seems unbelievable, but when you think about it, people out here, they'll look at you in your eyes and your face, and they'll tell you they're proud of you. They'll tell you how good you look, how healthy you look. And it's all bullshit! But V, I can tell you this from experience, she'll listen to you. And she'll look in your eyes. She'll come right through all of that and tell you exactly what you need to do to move on. That's how you know that she's for real. That's how you know you can trust her.
So she's improved your life.
She's given it a purpose.
Purpose.
The one time I actually did meet her face to face was on her deathbed.
Was that before or after this? This.
It was before.
Before.
She just looked at me. We were talking. She had this look, this look of strength and determination in her eyes. This like this defiance of death. Nothing was going to stop her. And she gave me this letter. She told me it was her story. I still have it. I've held on to it for.
But why you?
I don't know.
Where did this even happen?
It was a hospital here in Brooklyn.
Here in Brooklyn.
What was she dying from?
She was just her body was failing, but her mind was still so sharp.
And what?
You know, I've held on to this for years, and now it's
Oh, wow.
I'm shaking. I mean, it's cold, but this is.
I also have a lace.
I've always wondered why she gave it to me. Why me? And this is making sense. We're here now in this spot, and I have this, and you just listen. My mother died a week before my 10th birthday. It's her story. She had been unwell for some time already. My father was already a wreck by then, and the death of my mother, well, that was all the excuse he needed. He had been searching for a tragedy all his life, something to justify himself, and after she passed away, I had to deal with his performance. Something about performing. Yeah. He would never hit me whenever I'd expect it. when he was angry, he'd just mope about, lock himself away and not speak to anyone. It was when he was happy, when he forgot to perform his tragedy, that the trouble would come. Because when he remembered all of his disappointments, and he had to compensate, he had to make up for lost time, and the best way to do that was to make my life a living hell. Wish I could have met that bastard. I never spoke to anyone about it. The bruises he left were never too visible, and I tried making up stories to cover the ones that were. To the parents of my friends, to the locals about town, my father was a man who had stoically dealt with the loss of his beloved wife, and had proceeded to condescend to the status of single parent. At home, my father would play the tyrant, but in public, I remember telling you this. She had this look. He would play the hero. My childhood in Brooklyn was miserable. That's fairly common. And in those times, it was in those times when I thought I couldn't handle it anymore. I would come to this park and stare into the water. Captivated. In this whirlpool. When I got into college, it felt like everything would be okay. I could move away from home, and now I was sure I would be able to make friends and have a normal life, but everyone could sense there was something wrong with me. That there was something dark in me that they wanted nothing to do with. There was a group that was kind to me. I made an effort to keep their company, and they didn't seem to mind me being there. Sometimes there were parties they didn't tell me about, but that just seemed like typical childish carelessness. When they told me they were planning a trip on a cruise in the early months of summer, I was thrilled. They encouraged me. They told me when to buy tickets and what to pack, and on the day when I got onto the boat, I found when it finally left port that none of them had come. I didn't know what it was they wanted, if it was just a cruel prank or if they thought it might do me some good to leave me alone on the open sea. As I looked across the sea, I felt so happy to be away from home and school, people. I realized that with each passing minute, I was actually getting a little closer to people once more. That if I just raised my body over the side and let myself fall, I could forever be at that perfect point on the earth, away from the cruel performance of human life. But in that moment, all I could think about was what that served them right. I had my own performance. You see, so I couldn't jump. Not unless I wanted to be as dishonest as everyone else. When I returned to school, I didn't make an effort to see any of my former friends. They made no effort in return. When I finally forced myself to go to speak to them, they pretended to not even recognize me. They told me they had met a lot of people, but that I just wasn't one of them. When I walked away from them, I could hear them muffling their laughs. Every holiday I returned home, and every holiday my father grew worse. When college finished, I told him I was moving away to get a job. He didn't even seem to care. In reality, I actually stayed in New York, lived alone, and worked in a bodega. Invisible. Invisible to the regulars who would come to the store every day unless they needed some object for their anger. When the loneliness would get overwhelming, I'd come to this park to be far away from all the moments where I could have become a different person. I'd come here to the park, to the lake, and I would stare into the water. But one day, when I was already old, when it became completely clear that there was nothing and nobody left for me here, I walked forward. I continued to walk, and I pushed my head downward and forced my hand underwater until my mind became blank. When the water finally took me into its grasp, I found myself confronted with a space that went on so long I could no longer think in terms of miles. An infinite expanse of nothing that goes on for so long that you begin to lose any sense of time. By the time I was presented with that choice, I was half mad, but I knew where I needed to go. I needed to go down. With those who felt that the humans were left behind were in need of some more lessons. The only signs of my choice would be the whirlpools that would emerge in the pond of Hell's Gate.
Is that where we are? Hell's Gate?
That's where this bridge is, right?
Is it? Is this Hell's Gate
Do we
Bridge?
have that?
Thank you. No, it's not like that.
Do this. Hold this.
Well, I'm gonna be back. Wait,
Where we?
Fingers on the edge.
I'm scared. I don't like fire.
Show me that.
I don't know what to do once it.
Block
Block the wind.
We're doing this.
Why are we?
Yeah,
what
but
are we,
why
what
are
we
we
doing?
burning this? I'm sorry. Can you please explain?
This
What does Nolan have to do with
Is-
any of this?
an act of loyalty to thee.
I don't know. if
This
that's
all
a good
makes
idea.
sense.
It's like,
This all makes sense.
well, can you explain why it will
Did
make
she tell
sense?
you to do this?
You give me the picture.
Wait.
No matches.
Did she tell
no
you to do
matches. Give me the picture. It doesn't matter. Here. Take. Tear. Tear.
I don't get it. Come on.
Tear. Do it. Just do it. Follow your impulse. Follow your instincts. Tear it. Tear it. Take a piece. Take a piece. Tear it.
I need to know why Nolan's bad.
What? Did Nolan ever do anything to you?
Or
As long as.
to be?
As long as.
It's been a hypocrite the whole time. Blaming everything on her. Right?
Where does that leave us?
This is an act of loyalty to V and to clarity and to what's the term? the word, to full disclosure, to the end of the bullshit, to the truth, to no more masks, to no more lies, to being everything, put everything, every fucking thing out on the table. So if you're here, and you're loyal, prepare to hear. If you're here and you're watching,